Newcastle United is no longer interested in Declan Rice this summer, and I think that's a brilliant strategy. We'll talk about why here on Stoppage Time at Pints and Punditry. Welcome back to Stoppage Time here at Pints and Punditry. If you don't already, hit that subscribe button for me. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at TotalFIFACM. Go ahead and like this video, and please comment below on everything I'm saying. I would love to get the discussion going. The discussion today is about Newcastle United, and there's a report that came out in the last day or so sort of announcing that they are no longer interested in West Ham defensive midfielder Declan Rice, who is one of the biggest targets on the market for most of the big clubs this summer and is going to command a really high fee and is a brilliant player. And so, when I say, and the point of this video is I think this is the right move for Newcastle and that I really respect the way they are going about their team building and their roster building, but that is not a knock on Declan Rice. Declan Rice would be a great fit at Newcastle and on just about any club in all of Europe, for that matter. So it's not that I don't think they should be interested in him. In fact, if the funds are endless, they should be interested in him. It's interesting though, because when Newcastle United was purchased by a foreign entity, everyone panicked that this was going to be another massive overspending club, right? We got new Middle Eastern owners coming in. They're just going to throw money around. It's going to be, out of control. It hasn't been that. Yes, they've spent. Well, clubs should spend, right? Every club should spend to get better, and they're doing that, but they're doing it in a really measured tone. And the reason they have said that they are out on Declan Rice is not for lack of interest in Declan Rice. It's similar to what Liverpool has said with Jude Bellingham, which is we don't want to blow all our cash on one player. We want to build depth in a few different areas. And that's particularly wise for Newcastle because it looks like they're going to be playing in a lot of competitions next year. They seem like they're going to be able to manage a top four finish and going to have Champions League football. And they added a lot of talent this past summer, but they still don't have a ton of depth. They had a long way to go from the bottom of the Premier League to get to where they are now. And you don't do that overnight, and you don't do it with one or two star players. So they do need to spend this summer adding depth. If they were a team like Arsenal may be one Declan Rice away from, really making things interesting. Clubs like that. Liverpool, on the other hand, I said they should have done this last summer. Rather than go after Darwin Núñez, they should have turned him into 2 or 3 players. Well, it looks like Newcastle is taking that approach, and it's really, really smart. They have invested in young players like Sven Botman and Alexander Isak. They have really gone for depth, and they're not going to cash in all their chips on one player. Now, what is interesting is we all sort of were afraid that they would be the kind of club that could go after Declan Rice and 3 or 4 other players, right? That the funds were just going to be endless. And they really haven't operated like that. Like Chelsea. That's what Chelsea's done. We want Declan Rice. We want Mikhailo Modric. We want everybody under the sun. And we're going to spend, we're going to have multiple 80 to 100 million euro transfer fees. Chelsea's really the ones that have done that and not Newcastle the way everybody feared. So I really have a tremendous amount of respect for this type of strategy, this type of move. Everybody wanted to hate Newcastle for what they were going to become. They haven't become that. What they've become is a very well-run club with restraint and money, but good operations and good decision-making. And that should really scare some of the traditional, historically Big Six clubs. Tottenham, I'm talking about you. Chelsea, I'm talking about you. Liverpool, to a certain extent, I'm talking about you. A club with money that is well run and makes good decisions is constantly going to be in that top 4 to top 6. And so it's looking like that's what Newcastle is going to become. This is not, don't get Declan Rice. He's a fantastic player. Newcastle would be better off with him. But if they're going to play in 4 competitions next year, and at the very least they're definitely going to be in the Europa League, but probably the Champions League, if they really want to compete across the board in all 4 of these competitions, they need more starting caliber quality players to rotate the lineup and to have depth and to keep guys healthy and to fend off injuries. So, if they can't afford Declan Rice and a bunch of other players, then foregoing the big ticket item to get 3 or 4 guys at that 20 to 40 million euro transfer fee range is absolutely the right strategy, and I commend Newcastle for going about it in this way. Am I right? Am I wrong? Comment below, please. Let's get the conversation going. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button for me, and follow us on Twitter at TotalFIFACM. Thanks as always for joining us here on Stoppage Time at Pints and Punditry. This is Total FIFA Career Mode.